Now, we were working on the flam accent number 2.
Indeed.
How did that come along? How is that working out?
I don't know. I mean, I'm afraid of saying because every time I come with a different problem. So I prefer if you observe it and just let me know.
See, and that goes to the courage of being a nerd. Because a lot of guys, the answer to technique is to just not think about it. I've heard more than one drummer say that to me. And that's okay. But if we're going to be nerdy, then we have to take what comes with it, right?
No, I know.
But it's cool because otherwise I get bored, you know. I want there to be more. How deep is the well? Okay. With Wilson, it was pretty deep. I mean,
I know. I mean, it was proper grilling.
There were guys who studied for 30 years. He could just keep taking you places. It was amazing. So, all right. So, well, the flam accent number 2 precedes. The flam tap follows the flam accent number 2 in terms of chronology.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to just keep moving. Did you end up getting any of those books that I suggested? Did you end up getting the Mitch Peters yet?
I did. It was hard to find, I can tell you that.
Awesome. Yeah.
The struggle was real. I had to come from France, you know, because. But I found it. So.
What a great pilgrimage, you know. Well, I had to fly to France, you know.
There's literally I don't think they even issued this anymore, honestly.
Well, you know, you can get just about anything out of what is one of the biggest libraries in this country, which is, you know, Pro Drums in Hollywood. Just ask for Stan or Jerry, and they'll take care of you, you know. Keep that in mind.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, I'm sure they have it. Did you get the
it didn't have to fly from the US, so that's a good thing. At least it's in Europe.
You got to enjoy a croissant in Paris.
Exactly.
But, did you get Nard?
No, I just got this one. So if I need to get any other, just let me know. You think Nard is useful?
Yeah, well, maybe that'll be your reason to have them mail it to you from Pro Drum. You know, you need that. That'd be cool to have. Because as we work on these strokes, it's neat to actually see some of the strokes in what is a musical form. You know, little small musical pieces that involve the kind of those different strokes. So it's kind of neat.
Mm.
Okay, so you have the flam tap out. It's on the page of the flam accent, so I'm assuming you do.
Yeah, give me just a sec. Flam tap, right?
Flam tap.
Yep.
Okay, take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Because as Richard Martinez says, before you even play it, you want to look at it and determine how it is you're going to accomplish playing this stroke, said stroke, using this particular technique. There's one of the aspects of this technique that is not typical when it comes to snare drum technique is that we make upstrokes and downstrokes. Okay, so we're going to determine, well, are there, and it doesn't mean there has to be an upstroke. Some strokes, for instance, is there an upstroke in this particular stroke, the flam tap? What do you see?
I don't see any upstroke.
Right. Well, what do you see?
So I see this.
Well, go ahead and describe it. Go and describe it to me as though you're.
Well, I see obviously a throw.
Okay.
at the beginning.
Okay.
So to basically produce the flam.
Yeah.
And then I see a tap. And then I see an upstroke on the left.
There was no
Then
you said there was no upstroke. So let's look at it again. Okay, and for the sake of time, I'm going to move this along a little bit.
Mhm.
So we do have a throw for the first right flam, which means we
Yep.
have a solid tap or an appoggiatura in the left, right? Then we have another right turn.
Yeah.
Then we have another right turn that's going to play the appoggiatura for the left flam, and the left is going to have to raise or play 3 notes.
Yep.
And the last of the 3 notes would be the appoggiatura for the next throw or flam. So we just want to start to get the feeling of, at this speed, it's not fast enough where we're experiencing any rebound, but you can see where this is going to go.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it will start to rebound. Okay, now we're into rebound. Okay. Okay. But first, we just want to get the feeling of the stroke in our hands. So go ahead and play it, no metronome, and see if you can navigate your way through it.
Okay. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and
Your throw's gotten better. See, it's just this nice. I had a student in New York who was telling me that, because he's getting into throws, and of course I was the king of throws. Talk Richard Wilson into going out on a Friday in between lessons to catch a movie, and he said, "It's okay, Kevin, but I'm not going to spend the rest of the night playing downstrokes on your dashboard." And of course, flip frame, there he'd be, playing downstrokes on my dashboard. Kevin, well, look, no, that's not how you do. So, and I think part of him loved it. But so apparently, according to this student, he doesn't see anything that really talks about how to make a throw. You know. Now we've talked about it. We have discussed it on video with regards to playing strokes. And once again, this stroke involves a throw, right? It's really important. What I did with regards to the throw was think about the throw. I wish that I had asked Richard Wilson more about how do you just turn your wrist? See, because if Richard Martinez is correct, and I believe he is, that the whole thing is just a wrist turn, well then, we need to know about, and remember, it's all a wrist turn, but we're going to identify this kind of wrist turn as what, just a regular wrist turn. But if I go to make a throw, you see, and I bend forward, that's from the wrist. That's from the turning of the wrist. Okay? It's a turning of the wrist. Then I'm going to turn my wrist again. See, it's all wrist. There's none of this, and there's none of this. Okay, so what we want to understand is that this is critically important. How do you just do this? See, because this is going to be in this. There it is. Turn. Right. Dick Wilson would say the forward bend of the wrist motivates the upward motion of the forearm and releases any pressure that you might have in your fingers It's built up in the fingers. So you get so it involves a kind of relaxation going up. And without lifting your forearm, you've motivated it simply by, shall we say, pronating. I think Murray Spivak would call this the pronation, okay? Or it's a bend forward, or it's a wrist turn. See, it's some kind of wrist turn. So we have this. We have the relaxation in the hand. It's so subtle. You're still holding the stick, but it's there. And then we're going to turn towards the ceiling. And so this part of it, this regular wrist turn, is a really big deal because it's right there. And you'll notice the stick travels in a straight path. When you lead with your elbow, and again, there are different techniques, but the reason Dick thought that this technique was more efficient was because if you molar it, look what you do.
Through the trajectory, right?
Well, it takes the butt end and it takes it out. It's moving the butt end and quite frankly, perhaps unnecessarily. You see, what we want to do is when we go up, we want to go up as straight as, we want to keep the stick moving in a straight line. We want it to be in a straight line. We don't want it doing this. What is that? Like a fishtail. We're looking to keep this thing in a straight line, a straight trajectory. The axis of rotation, Greg Albin likes to say this, one of Dick's long-studying students, the axis of rotation is perpendicular to the orbital plane. All right, so we can get out the dictionary or our physics books and try to figure out exactly what he meant. But we have planes, right? What we're trying to do is create this thing. We want this thing to remain perpendicular to a plane. We want it to be doing this, not this. Okay? Okay. And your throw already looks better. Now,
one thing I've noticed during these 2 weeks is obviously in these 2 weeks I was particularly focused on, getting the wrist getting the throw very relaxed and get everything relaxed. What I did notice was that at times, because I was so focused on that, my grip would also get a bit too loose. And I wouldn't keep that firm, constant pressure because I was just trying to be as relaxed as possible, if that makes sense.
well, sure, yeah. Yeah, I understand. You have to maintain your grip. Isn't that what I wrote in your lesson?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's maintaining the grip, but at the same time being relaxed. It's a hard thing to do.
They seem counterintuitive.
Exactly, yeah.
It seems counterintuitive. It's as if there's a contradiction. And I understand that. But the grip is firm, comfortable, and constant in the guide, first finger and thumb. And then, what was it that Jack Burgess said? The fingers travel. The fingers travel, not the first finger and thumb. That's how he put it. Okay? So there's a bunch of different ways to look at this. But we want the arms. Dick would say, just let your arms go to sleep, which always seemed a little, I was scared to let go, really. I wanted to hold on to everything. But what is that tune? If you hold on too tightly, you're going to lose control. Remember the tune?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, right. We've got this grip. It's not a big deal. It's very simple, and we're learning to make these very simple motions, but they have to be precise. And we're leading with the wrist. We're leading with the wrist. Okay, not bad. So go and put the metronome on at. So there's a quick tutorial on the downstroke, or as Richard Wilson would call it, the throw.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.